Cyberdyne a minute ago. Not sure.
Yeah, I get a little something that on your signal too from time to time. You know, it's obviously somebody talks. It almost like when they're kind of hot on the mic, it sounds like it kicks it out more. But it doesn't happen real often. It just happens sometimes. You notice it.
Yeah, might be some, co-use or adjacent channel stuff.
That's what I'm guessing. I haven't heard it key to repeater up. It's just if somebody's talking, I've noticed it, but not that a lot of people use it. You know, it'd be more noticeable, but I really haven't heard it. Knock anybody off air.
That's good. And question for you on the other one. I know last winter we had some strange behaviors, shall we say, with the repeater. Microphonics, I think, is probably the most technical term I can put on it. Anything like that back up?
No, I haven't noticed it, and last winter I didn't notice a bunch of it either. That one would actually key repeater. No. Yeah, it would actually key it itself. Sometimes it would key it itself and, go to the timeout timer. But I haven't noticed it recently. I have had a couple of people pop up on it, toss out the name, call sign, and maybe a conversation or two. But it's been playing pretty decent as far as I can tell.
The 1225 series, I have unfortunately disposed of a couple of them. They just have a shelf life, I guess. And the microphonic behavior is something that guys talk about. And there's all kinds of down the rabbit hole troubleshooting. And for me, it's been more like, let's just move on to something else. So anyway, fingers crossed. But obviously we have options if the need arises. So it's nice to be in that position.
This is true. Yeah, the 1225 series, after all, they were the next generation past the Max Tracks and the Radius. So that puts them early to mid 90s, depending. So they've done really well and continue to do well right up to the die. Oh, but yeah, if that happens, there's some contingency plans to put something else in its place.
Yeah, it's great to have stuff on the shelf. I did do some research on the CDR that I was working on. I sent you the video of. I ran the serial numbers down just because I want to know how old they were. 2006, which is, that's great, I think. To have a second life, who knows, maybe a third life. The rick, it has a true factory rick. It's a little flaky. As in, if you press the button's flaky. So like I pressed the button and disabled it, and then I had to mash on the button a bunch to get it back enabled, get the green light on if you know the rick. So that might be something that it could be a potential pinch point if we start having some issues. But it's easy to honestly just wire them together. It's not a need. It's just I inherited it.
Mash on it, son.
Absolutely. Well, it kind of sounds like it needs a shot of deox and exercise it a little bit. It's, if you push it on and off, 25 or 30 times, a lot of times that's enough to wipe the contacts and give it a play nice.
Yeah, one day when we go down to my work location, I'll tell you where it came from. it has potential to be a really gross environment. It's in a shelter, but it's not the prettiest place. So you said in your text it was a dirty girl. It used to be a lot worse.
Oh, I'm sure. I've seen some of those CDRs and some of the rack mount 1225s. They came out of like a quarry environment or coal mining, coal processing environment, and they were terrible inside. But it's hard not to, if you don't use some kind of a filter or filter air before it goes into it, it's just going to accumulate. That one really wasn't that bad. I was kind of tongue-in-cheek, but well, you've seen them even in a fairly clean environment. The dust just builds up in them. No ways of getting around that.
Well, there is, but it's difficult.
Yeah, it was so bad that I did have to replace the fan. Like, the fan had just died. And of course, it made me wonder, like, what made this thing get replaced? Was it the fan died? Was it the rig? Was it, wide to narrowband? Was it analog to turbo? But for some reason, this thing had been replaced. Both of those had been replaced. But then I do a little work on it, and I'm like, well, this thing's pretty good. So, funny how it is.
Yeah, just needs a little TLC. Of course, the fans, you really can't maintain those. And at, $10 to $12 a shot, why bother? Likely the ball bearings just got so dusty and crusty, it's just, I'm not working anymore.
Probably flat-sided.
Yeah, it's more of a pain to, like, figure out what size, hunt down, order the correct size and stuff than it is to put one in. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I have one over where I just was that needs to be replaced. It's in a phone system. It's a server, 1U rack server, and it's the phone system, and that thing is screaming. And I think I'll just let it die because it's in a room that's pretty well maintained. And we're going to replace it anyway, maybe next year, the whole system. So, let's see, Main Street and 7th. That's where I am now. So just singing along here.
Okay, well you're on the mobile radio, aren't you?
Affirmative.
Yeah, just a bit of fluctuation, a little picket fence, but nothing horrible. And I know Main and 7th. Let's see, that's going down the hill, so we'll see. It shouldn't get much worse. Maybe a little more flutter.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be going back up now. I'm going up to 8th and something for my next stop. So yeah. But I'm looking forward to getting that CDR hung and operational. I hate to tell you this, it's been sitting in my garage for over 2 years. I need to be better about stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all priorities. Sometimes more other things take more priority. I don't think I told you I did some balancing work over in the Omni one time, and where one of our amplifiers was, there was I can't remember if it was 8300s or 8400s, but they were sitting there side by side vertically on a shelf. And both of them were on, and I don't know if I'm sure they were operational, but I didn't do any research to see if I could find out what frequencies they were on.
Yeah, I encountered one recently, 84, that's vertically mounted. It's in a wall mount though. Like it is on a wall, mounted in a rack, not a rack really, but a mount that's intended for this. So first time I've seen that.
Well, they kind of went all out on this one. They're not in a rack at all. They're just standing on end with two flat packs, drilled into mounted to the Mountain City case. Really, the only thing that was in there was carpet on the floor. Those two things on a shelf, a telephone and our amplifier.
I got you. I tell you what, I love parking down here. I really do. It's one of my favorite things.
I can only imagine. I was lucky enough to wear pretty much everything we needed to do. It's just take a lane, put out the cones. It was a little dicey when I went into the Omni, but I think across the street there was some like 2-hour parking, 3-hour parking maybe that I was able to get to. So that worked out pretty well. Plus we've got a node. Actually got 2 nodes outside the Omni in the. We've got an amp and a manhole, and we've got a node and a handhold right on the sidewalk there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't envy that kind of stuff. But yeah, you had the right vehicle to just be able to put it basically anywhere you can, and no one's going to care.
Yeah, pretty much. I did get one parking ticket one time, but that was a private parking lot, and it wasn't it wasn't a surprise. Just it was private. The city gave me the ticket, even though I guess they're doing enforcement for the private lots too. But I added on an extra hour overtime, and that took care of the cost of the ticket.
I used to just come down here on Sundays and stuff because I could, park for free. We've got an office down here too, so I would just come down here, take care of a few things, kind of like I was doing today, and then carry on. And of course, they've changed all that. There's all this different parking stuff, and scan your credit card here, and a bunch of crap I don't like, really. So I kind of hate doing it, but I'm just going to do it anyway.
Yeah, probably won't anybody notice. There's not a lot going. Usually, there's not a lot going on unless in a place where a lot of restaurants and nightclubs type stuff is. Where the parking's at a premium all the time anyway. So you'll probably be okay, I'm sure.
Yeah, I need to take you down here one day too, just for a good look at things. Pretty much. I've still got a few spaces you haven't been, but you've been to a lot of stuff with me.
Yeah, well, you learn something everywhere you go. Everything's a little bit different, bounded this way or whatever. It's all tools for the toolbox for next project.
You got it. Hey, real quick, can you switch to the other repeater? I just want to do a quick check, then I'm gonna run inside.
Yeah, Southwest, yeah, no worries. Switch now.
Roger.
WRW434.
Okay, AF8457.
WR4 Southwest.
All right, now copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A bit of white noise, nothing horrible. Hear you pretty well.
Okay, I would say they're about equal down here, which is kind of what I thought.
Yeah, I've got a bit more white noise on it here, but it's not same. You did pick up a little bit more noise one time. I think you moved a little bit. Probably got a shadow. Still perfectly readable.
Yeah, I would say you're about 85% here. You dropped out once or twice actually. But so I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of splitting the difference between the two. But for me, receive is about the same on here as with the other one. Yeah,
I had the repeater. Sometimes I think when the wind blows, it'll pick its sense out a little bit for just a second. I was on low power, so I went back to high. So I should be getting into a bit better, but that's probably why I dropped out some.
That makes sense, yeah. Okay, you're up now. All right, I'm gonna run in here. I might catch you back on the other one in a little bit as I wrap up my tour of the town.
All right, no worries. Yeah, I'm getting ready to. Let's see, I got to take a picture of a 4350 that I'm offering for sale, and I'll probably hit the YouTube University to refresh my memory of settings and that sort of stuff to tune this duplexer up. And let's see, I think it's going to be grilled cheese and Frederick stew for dinner tonight.
Oh boy.
Sounds like a good plan, honestly. I'll look into that as well. Yeah, I just looked, minus 95 is what I'm hearing the repeater here. So I'd say that's pretty good. Catch you in a bit. This is KAF 8457.
All right, catch you in a little bit. WROW 434.